Our Wednesday after. Hi, everybody. It's our Wednesday afternoon live stream. I think I just double talked myself there. I'm in my office with my door open, hoping that we're going to get some rain this afternoon. You know, the county fair is coming up, so there should be some rain on the horizon. This show, we dedicate a lot to what's changing, what's going on in our community and in the state with all the surroundings of COVID. But we also really want to take that time that the pandemic has certainly changed the way we do business. And that is no stranger to the Archuleta County Fair. I've been here over 26 years. I don't think I've ever missed a fair. And this year it's going to be slightly different. So our guest today will be Becky Jacobson, who will be talking about the changes to the livestock auction and the Archuleta County Fair. Before Becky comes on, though, as usual, there's some additional updates. So I do want to mention that to our business community and our residents. First and foremost, and you'll see a lot of this coming on the horizon, especially for 2021. So our businesses really need to pay attention. And that is that Governor Polis has signed the new Healthy Families and Workplaces Act. Now, what that means is your business this year, if you do not offer PTO or sick time, you do need to do that. You need to offer up to 80 hours. It doesn't matter the size of your business, but you need to offer up to 80 hours of PTO for employees that have either been diagnosed, exposed to, or have a family member that they need to take care of. They need to have that time off. Also, if a place of employment closes or a child's work, childcare closes, you need to be able to offer that. In 2021, it's going to change. Businesses 15 employees and more will need to offer PTO or sick time for employees 1 hour for every 30 hours worked. And then in 2022, all businesses are going to need to have that caveat in there. So those businesses that already offer PTO and or sick time, you are covered. But those businesses that do not, you're going to need to take a look at that. So we're going to look at having a webinar in the fall that explains more of this as we get closer to those due dates. The other thing that I want to mention is, unfortunately for us, our COVID numbers are increasing, both in residents and in non-residents. And so there's a lot of people that are very concerned, especially our business community. What do I do if my employee is exposed or comes in and says, I need to get tested? Or what happens if they come in and say, wow, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my child has been exposed? What does a business do? So I want to refer our business community once again to San Juan Basin Health's website. They have a great FAQ or frequently asked questions sheet about what you should do. Now, everybody thinks, oh my gosh, I have an employee that's been diagnosed or exposed, I have to shut down. Not necessarily. That's the good news. But they will definitely come in. It is the law. Your employees will need to be isolated. You will need to make some arrangements. And San Juan Basin Health will work with you through that process. So again, as our numbers increase, it's something that we all have to consider in running a business. And so please, the most important part is make sure that your business and your employees are taken care of. Don't soften up on any of the sanitation protocols that you have in place. Make sure things are clean, the menus are clean, the pens are handled, that people are social distance, your tables are social distance, your waiting lines are social distance, and now, per the governor's order, masks are required as you enter the buildings. So please don't let up. We've got to get these numbers under control, and we can only do that as if we work together as a community. So that's my 5 minutes today, but I really want to give some time to Becky Jacobson here, who is the 4-H coordinator over at the CSU Extension Office. You know, Becky, I don't think there's ever been a bad 4-H coordinator, but Becky, you know, you're just great. You're so involved. You honor me with allowing me to be a part of the livestock auction every year. But this year, it's going to be a little different.
Definitely. We are facing challenges head on and working how everything is going to work this year, because it is different in the fact that we're not open to the public. So, you know, our 4-H kids are still able to come and finish their projects here, but it is private. It's a private event.
And so when you say private, what does that mean? Can a family come?
So the family
obviously
members,
I can't come. So
right.
How do I get involved?
So the family members of the 4-H youth are able to come. We are doing head counts, so we have to keep. We are limited to a certain amount of people under our livestock tent, and so luckily we can break out our shows by species, which we already do. But the animals will be coming a couple hours before their show time. They will show and then they will leave. So none of the animals are staying overnight in the tent this year. And so what that allows is that our first show is Thursday morning at 9. It's the swine show. And so the families with swine members can come, they'll show their pigs, take their pictures, do all of that, and then they'll go home. And then we'll have a few hours to sanitize everything before the next show is that evening is the poultry show. And again, only the family members of the poultry kids can come and watch. We are allowing past buyers that have purchased animals in the last 2 years attendance at those shows if they so choose to come and watch. But for everybody else, we're live streaming. And so
kind of like this.
Kind of just like this, exactly. The Fair Board has committed their budget this year to putting in fiber optic out here on our fairgrounds, which we've never had before. This is so exciting. This is a blessing that has come out of all of this pandemic mess. We will have Wi-Fi coverage on the fairgrounds, which we have struggled with forever. And so because of that Wi-Fi capability, we will be able to live stream our shows. And so anybody can watch from the comfort of their home or their boat. And if you are a business owner that has some TVs, maybe restaurants, and would like to live stream those shows, we would appreciate the support in the community, letting people watch that. Because not a lot of people really know what a swine show or a poultry show or, you know, entails. And so I think it's going to broaden horizons for everybody when you're able to watch it, you know, from the comfort of wherever you're at. So we are very excited that we will be able to offer that this year. So for those of, you know, and also for the people that the family members that are compromised and don't want to come to the shows can watch their kids or grandkids, nieces, nephews, whatever, from home.
From
also.
Missouri.
Exactly.
So Becky, another big portion though is, you know, maybe I can't get there, but I still want to bid. And or add-ons are a huge portion of the kids raising funds. So how do I, as Jo Coulehan Public, get involved in that component?
Definitely. So you can pre-register as a buyer. Our auction will be in online format. And once you give us an email address, the morning of the auction, you will get an email with your password to log in and become a buyer. And so you can see the way that the platform for the auction is set up, that all the animals will be up on the screen at the same time. The auction is from 6 to 9 p.m. on August 1st. And so you'll have all evening to bid and check back and see if you've been outbid and if you want to bid again. And so that would be if you're interested in purchasing an animal. A lot of businesses purchase animals and split the meat between their employees.
Sure.
A lot of them, you know, do it for their families. But if you're interested in supporting our members without purchasing, those are add-ons. And as you know, that is a big portion. I think that you spend most of the time during the live auction reading all of the add-ons that we get.
Add-ons. But it's so critical.
It's very critical. So a lot of kids have, they all have expenses. Purchasing an animal and feeding them and working with them. And sometimes animals get sick, and so you have some vet bills. They have expenses throughout the whole entirety of their project. And so some animals won't sell for an incredible high amount, but the add-ons will kind of make up that difference. And so an add-on allows anybody to donate to the child, and they use that, to put in their savings, just like the purchase price. Then you're not obligated to purchase an animal either. But it's a great way for advertisement, because we advertise, all of our buyers and our add-on donators in the Pagosa Sun after fair, and then we thank them again the following fair, the week before the following year, and so it's great. You are supporting kids. You're supporting your community. I've had a lot of local business owners tell me that they love when my 4-H kids come and apply for jobs. They know that they're 4-H kids, and so you're helping support them in their future endeavors, and keeping them involved in this program is key. And so really easy way is to head over to the ArchuletACountyFair.com website, and there's a Google Doc on there to pre-register. You can do your add-ons right there, and of course you can call myself or Terry Schaff here in the office, and we'll take down your information and answer any questions that anybody has.
Great. Well, I think there's some people that I know it happens every year, and you have a VIP tent. I could see a couple little mini parties going on around town.
Definitely.
They could have their own little fair party and their own little livestock party. And I think that would be great. Really, I commend the Fair Board and the Livestock Committee for changing to keep up. Nobody ever thought we'd be dealt this hand, and
definitely.
And it, like you said, if nothing else, you'll be tying into that fiber that hooks right at the corner of 84 and Highway 60. So that's a huge benefit for the fairgrounds. I know it's been needed for a long time. But again, everybody has to shift or pivot, as we've been saying. And so congratulations to you for stepping up to the plate and pivoting and still keeping it going for these kids, because they haven't stopped raising their animals, and it still is a lesson, and they're still doing all their books and everything, all the various projects, not just livestock, but it's really important to keep that, it just doesn't affect adults. We find out,
it's affected everything that we've done.
Absolutely.
In the office.
Yeah. So I hear the tents are going up, and so we'll be looking at that.
Yep.
Just to know,
just the one tent.
Just the one tent.
Just the one tent.
So but you can't go out there, and so don't go out and see if you can go to the county fair, because it is not happening this year. But the big component is the livestock auction and it will be virtual.
Yes.
So we'll be sending out some stuff, we hope, this week. To make sure that everybody is aware of the websites to log into, both if you would like to purchase, as well as if you would like to do add-ons. I can't emphasize the add-ons enough. It is such a way to help our youth in this community. You don't have to buy a whole steer, or you don't have to buy a whole goat.
Or find people to share it with.
Anyways, but but it's a great way to help our youth and help them cover that expenses and really feel part of the community.
Definitely. And the add-on money and the purchase price, all that money goes back to the kids. We keep a very small amount to help support paying our livestock judges, getting materials that we need every year for fair, but a very small amount. And so that definitely does support the kids. Another part that we are missing this year is our chuck wagon dinner. And that is a huge fundraiser for us. And that money supports our whole 4-H program and helps pay for kids to go to leadership camps. So on that website, also, there's a donate button here if you just want to support 4-H as a whole. But definitely supporting those livestock members is huge too. So any way that anybody can help support us, we thank everybody and appreciate all of it.
Okay, so here's the challenge to the community. If you typically purchase a 4-H chuck wagon ticket for the
Yep.
barbecue, get on that website and you donate that money, pretend like you're just purchasing a ticket and give that money right back to 4-H and maybe add on a couple bucks or two.
Yeah,
So
that would be a great challenge.
there you go. Thank you, Becky, so much. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you being on our live stream, and we wish you all the luck this weekend. I'll
Thanks
I'll
so
miss
much, Mary
miss
Jo.
being there.
We'll miss having you for sure.
Good luck to everybody. I'm sure it will go very well.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, folks, that's our Wednesday afternoon live stream. Again, such a huge component of our community, the Archuleta County Fair. Just because it's not happening in person doesn't mean it's not happening. And please, again, if you typically go to the barbecue, purchase those tickets online and give that money to the 4-H. These students rely on it. This COVID, again, doesn't affect just one demographics. It affects all of us. So we're so glad that the Archuleta County Fair has been able to change and move forward. Again, please be aware of your businesses and all the safety protocols and the sanitation efforts. It's really important. We've got to keep our numbers under control and get them down. That includes visitors, residents, everybody. Just one more quick reminder this evening. It is Wednesday. We do have a business after hours this evening. It is at the Best Western, sponsored by the New Thought Center. It will be from 5 to 7, and chamber members and invited guests are welcome. It is $8. Maymong Cuisine, another chamber member, will be providing the food, and there'll be music by the Retro Cats. They have worked really hard to make sure that we are social distance. Please come in a mask. If you don't have one, we certainly have them for you. We will also have the mask required posters, as well as additional masks if you'd like to take them back to your businesses. We'll have those available as well. So join us this evening, 5 to 7, at the New Thought Center at the Best Western. Thank you all again for joining us this Wednesday. Everybody be safe. Bye-bye.